Welcome to the Six Hats podcast, where I, Dr Shami, a lifestyle and nutritional medicine family doctor, will talk about how women strive to find balance each day by juggling their six roles, being a woman, mother, daughter, partner, business owner, and professional. Hello everyone, I'm Dr Shami and welcome to the Six Hats podcast. I'm a general practitioner or a family doctor, and I've been a family doctor for the last 22 years. However, in the last 8 to 9 years, I've specialized in nutritional, lifestyle, and environmental medicine by doing an extra qualification with the Australian College of Nutritional and Environmental Medicine. So what exactly is this type of medicine? And sometimes people call it functional or integrative medicine. Now, the best way to explain it is, remember when you go to see your family doctor, more often than not, they ask you, what symptoms do you have? What are you experiencing? So you list your symptoms and the doctor's busy trying to diagnose, treat, and manage. Now, the management is more often than not a drug, a medication. Now, I kind of reflected on this about 8 to 9 years ago when I went through a personal health journey. So I moved to Australia, and with the whole transition and the move and the impact of stress, I gained a lot of weight and my skin health was changing. I was developing acne for the first time in many years. My menstrual cycle was changing and I couldn't figure out what was going on. I also had gut symptoms. I was developing all of these intolerances. Now I realize modern medicine did not help me. I was trying different types of drugs. I was going down that pathway, but it was just leading to more and more side effects. So I took a breath, and luckily I was speaking to a really good friend of mine, and she told me about nutritional and lifestyle medicine, and I began my journey of discovery. Now, it took me a couple of years to complete the learning and eventually get my fellowship, but it was worth every moment. I felt I was like in this candy store of discovery, because here I was finding amazing solutions, getting better, getting healthier, and it just inspired me to say, this has to be shared. More and more people need to know about it. And it really took me a moment to stop and think, where has medicine gone? You know, we've been trained in a certain way and we're not even talking about the impact of lifestyle, like the impact of sleep and movement and breathing and how it impacts your health, and the impact of stress as well. And I can't recall having any training in that during med school, even as a GP trainee. So here I was in a completely different environment, finding solutions and wanting more and more people to experience it. So that's the beginning of my journey. And so I decided to have my own practice in about 5 or 6 years ago, and I called it Usawa. And often people go, what exactly does that mean? So Usawa actually means balance in Swahili, which is the national language of Tanzania. So where did that even come about? So 2008, I decided to climb Mount Kilimanjaro, and that's the highest mountain in Africa, and it's in Tanzania. And it was sort of more of a personal challenge, a personal goal to say, can I actually do this? You know, I'm not very active. I've never done this before. I have certainly not done this on my own, to go to a different country on my own and then climb a mountain. But I was determined. I was determined to make some changes. So I hired a personal trainer and made lifestyle changes and nutritional changes. And yeah, I did it. I found this amazing group. We've become lifelong friends and we climbed to the top of Mount Kilimanjaro. So it's always been such a wonderful memory in 2008 when I did that. And I always wanted to sort of link it to what I want to do now. So that's the birth of Usawa, which means balance in Swahili. Now, it's actually linked to health. So when you really think about it, our body is out of balance and we're trying to get it back into balance. And this is what we're always trying to achieve, even in life. So when I began my journey, just seeing lots of patients and hearing lots of patient stories, I always asked myself, so why have you developed these symptoms? Why have you developed gut symptoms? So it could be intolerances, it could be changes to your thyroid function, hormonal changes, weight gain. What exactly is the underlying trigger? Why did you eventually develop these symptoms? Now, there's a multitude of reasons, including, genetics and epigenetics, where the environment plays a massive factor. And yes, there's nutrition and lifestyle, but what I really realized is we did not talk about stress and how it makes a massive impact on health. And this is where I want to talk more about in the next couple of episodes. What exactly is the stress response? Are we aware that we're in that stress response, or has this become our normal way of living? So what I realized is the stress response has a massive impact on our health in all the different parts of the body. And this can result into chronic conditions. So it sort of happens over time. We sort of normalize the way we live, and it could be fast paced, always on the go, always having thoughts racing, always needing to be somewhere, always waking up with a really long to-do list and feeling that we're not ever getting to the bottom of this to-do list. Perhaps it is keeping awake at night with lots of thoughts, ruminating thoughts, a bit of negativity, not really getting nourishing sleep, and then waking up not refreshed. And the whole journey begins again. It's sort of like a repeated episode every day. But some people thrive on stress, and we're going to go deeper into our episodes. When does stress harm us? Now, is there a positive stress or is there a negative stress? Is all stress bad for us? But what I do see from seeing my patients and hearing these stories is that when we don't realize how crazy our lives can be and the impact it has on our body, we can't do anything about it. We're not aware that we can do something about it. So I was really determined, because I was seeing patients at the end result meaning perhaps weight gain or hormonal changes or gut issues, and they've been experiencing this for years and years and years. So can we do something about it early? Can we take action now before it leads to ailments, before it leads to symptoms? So this is where I was so passionate about sharing this kind of information, spreading awareness, and literally seeing how we can prevent certain illnesses from happening. So this is the birth of Six Hats. Now, why Six Hats? So when I see many of my patients, they tell me all their stories, and it's just phenomenal how much they do. So majority are women, and I see them as mothers and a daughter, a partner, but also they're a professional in their own right, and they're a woman in their own right, and they could be running a business. So the common scenario is, I'm running my business. By the way, I'm also studying, and I've got 2 children, and I also have to be a wife and be present for my partner and be present for my children. So what I realize is women especially are juggling so many hats. And what are the 6 hats? So you're a daughter, you could be a partner, a mother, and also a woman. Have we forgotten that we're also a woman and a professional in our own right, climbing the career ladder, but could be running a business at the same time? So literally, we are taking so many different hats, and we're juggling it on a daily basis. Now, example, you wake up and you're a mum, and then you're a wife to someone, and plus you're a daughter by, your mum calls you and say, can you do this for me? Can you help me with this? And at the same time, you go off and you're a career woman. And at the same time, you're running a business. And then you come home and you're coming back to a mother and a wife and a daughter. So we're constantly juggling different roles. And how did I forget? When are you looking after yourself as a woman? So this inspired me to start the podcast Six Hats, to really explore different stories of how we juggle the different roles, but more importantly, practical, effective ways of seeking balance. Now, people sort of say you can have it all, but I really don't want to go down that path. It's not about having it all. It's about how can we enjoy each and every day? How can we find joy in each and every day while we juggle the different hats, but also thrive and be kind to ourselves. But more importantly, strive for balance. Because ultimately, if we can strive for balance and we look after our health and we avoid the chronic stress response, we are looking after our bodies, we're looking after our mind and body, and that's the ultimate goal for Six Hats. It's going to be an exciting journey. I'm going to be interviewing various different experts, but more importantly, finding their ways of finding balance. So we'll be doing lots of interviews, roundtables, and I'll be also sharing some amazing books that I read that have made a massive impact for myself and my patients. And also in the midst of all of it, we will be sharing lots and lots of practical tips. So I really, really hope you enjoy the journey and come on this journey of discovery with me. So welcome to Six Hats. I'm excited for you to come onto the journey and look forward to seeing you soon. Bye. Remember that this is general advice only. Please see your healthcare professional for more information. So what's your take-home message today? Remember, it's all about progress and not perfection. Curious to learn more? Visit usawa.com.au and click on the Usawa Learning platform, which is packed with educational videos, including the 6-week stress-free challenge. Enjoy the journey.